my martial artist is bonking the entire in-game and flickering everywhere. Check it out. What's up, guys? Today, I have a massive update for the Giga Bonk Martial Artist. We found some new tech that eliminates the need for power charge on crit gloves and instantly fills up your charges with the press of a button. We've also swapped to a new unique body armor that grants a ton of defense, discovered explode gloves for tons of clear speed, and a boot mod that takes flicker strike to the moon. I'm going to explain all the new tech and the rotations we're using for mapping, and then I'll go over the skill gems, gear, passive tree, and do a map and boss demo. Let's jump into it. So the power charge tech still revolves around A-list chimes, martial master, and culmination. Culmination will allow a skill to build up combo on hits with skills. Martial master will allow all attack hits to build combo, meaning your heralds, charge staff, falling thunder, wind dancer, everything will build combo when they hit something. We can then consume that combo thanks to culmination, and then A-list chimes will grant us power charges. We'll build combo super fast with shattering palm, which will create these ice fragments on use that'll build combo. Then this combo is consumed when we use the skill again to grant us power charges. This means we can just spam click Shattering Palm whenever we enter the map for power charges, and then just use those charges for things like Flicker, Falling Thunder, and Charge Staff. This eliminates the need for Whirling Assault, which had a really long animation and was kind of clunky. Now you just click a couple buttons and you get a ton of charges on demand. Essentially, if you ever need charges, just press Shattering Palm a couple times on a monster. We're also now using the new unique body armor, Forgotten Warden Primal Markings. This body armor comes from the Bodok new Ritual Final Boss and has an insane amount of evasion and energy shield, which uniques typically lack. This body armor will give us deflection rating based on missing energy shield, meaning if we get hit, our deflect chance will rise to help mitigate 40% of damage taken. On top of that, it's also going to grant a skill called Spirit Vessel. This skill will summon a spirit companion who we'll be using to increase our defenses. This companion will take up to 15% of damage from hits we deflect, which means when we deflect, we only take 45% of the damage we normally would have. We'll then be combining this with Ramirez Requital, as this will take 10% of damage taken and instead deal it to this companion as well. This is a massive defensive boost, as the minion will take a portion of the damage for you, and you'll get a ton of evasion, energy shield, and deflection for very, very cheap. If you have an attachment to your prior rare body armor, feel free to keep it, but I am enjoying this body armor after testing. I've also been messing around with some of these Stone Fist glove mods, and I've found that the Magnitude of Poison and Magnitude of Bleed mods turn into Chance to Explode Corpses, which is insane for clear speed. This mod comes only from the Decay mod pool, which can be granted by the Catalyst Gloom rune. This is a huge clear speed increase and will help Flicker Strike out a ton in general. And then since we don't need power charge on crit anymore too, we can replace that mod on the suffix with attack speed, which turns into onslaught on hits for a 20% skill speed and 10% movement speed boost. I've then crafted a pair of boots using the new Chronomancy mods from the Utrecht Citrus rune, which can grant the mod, skills have a chance to not remove charges but count as consuming them. This means whenever you use Flicker Strike, you have a chance to do more dashes. This boosts the efficiency of Flicker Strike and gives our Charge Staff and Falling Thunder a chance to not consume charges for extra bonks. Both of these items I'll be making crafting videos on after this video, so be on the lookout. And if you're trying to beat the crowd on crafting these, you can go back to either my YouTube VOD or my Twitch VOD from 2 days ago, and then find in there I crafted a couple pairs on stream. Then lastly, I've finally got my Mageblood from farming Juice Ritual. I followed a very similar strat to Fub Gun, so be sure to go check that out, and ended up pulling my own Mageblood for the first time in PoE 1 and 2 instead of buying it. I'm using it as a large quality of life, as it allows me to get 30% movement speed, plus 2000 to evasion rating, 75% increased critical hit chance, and 60% to lightning res. I don't have anything like the sulfur or silver flask mod juicing my damage, so this isn't something that's mandatory to perform well with the build. Just continue using Chevron and Satchel until you decide to go with an Uber Belt. If you're wondering where the energy shield sustain comes from, it's from the massive amount of defenses for things like deflect, evasion, and energy shield that we have, plus the energy shield recharge rate from the Martial Adept Ascendancy. Simply put, just play the game smart and it's not a problem. Now that that's all explained, let's jump into the skill and support gems. Alright, here we are on the Monk, so now I want to talk about the skill and support gems that we're now using. First, let's start with the skill granted by the body armor, Spirit Vessel. On Spirit Vessel, I'm using Ramirez Requital, as this is going to make 10% of damage from hits taken from the companion life before you. So essentially, you take 10% less damage, this guy eats it. I have a Monomoose Tithe, as this is going to make it to where if he dies, I have a 50% chance to get an Abyssal Monster modifier. Just a nice way to get a little bump and maybe some cool Abyssal mod. You don't have to run this, but I like this. I'm then running Meat Shield to make it, my minion take 40% less damage. I don't want him dying very often, as I do want that DR that he provides, but if he does die, then this can proc. I'm running Hulking Minions to make my minion gigantic for more life. And then I'm running Katha's Brilliance, as this is going to make it so that anything within the radius of this guy is going to get blinded. And remember, blind is nice for us. And then it also ignites them. So if there's any bonuses to have you ignited enemy recently or damage against ignited enemies, this is a good way to get that effect. Next is Shattering Palm, and this is the main generator for our power charges now. We replaced this for Whirling Assault. On Shattering Palm, I have Culmination 2. You have to socket this first. This is going to make us be able to build combo on Shattering Palm. Ayless Chimes is then going to make it so that whenever we consume combo, we have a chance to get a power charge. So essentially, this allows us to build and consume combo. When we consume that combo, we have a chance to get power charges. Charge Perfusion 2 is going to give us a chance to get an additional charge and then an additional random charge. Living Lightning is great, as Living Lightning is going to make it so that the minions summoned from this, whenever they hit stuff, they also build combo. The more combo build up equals more power charges. So this is insane for maintaining max combo on Shattering Palm. And then lastly, I'm running Rage 3, as I do like to get Rage. Rage equals more damage, so if you can get this, for sure run it. Next is Falling Thunder. On Falling Thunder, make sure that you're running Nova Projectiles 1, as this is, you don't want to run 2. 2 lessens your damage and adds a cooldown to the skill. We then run Culmination 2 to allow us to build up combo. When we expend combo, of course, with the Ascendancy, we get ES Recharge, and plus this just deals more damage. Blindside for more crit damage and more crit chance. If you are not at a high enough crit chance, which is around 60% with Blindside, then you need to be running Pinpoint Critical. If you're below 60% with Blindside, then please, please, please run Pinpoint Critical. I'm then running Breachlord's Amalgam, and this is one that you're going to rotate in and out if you want to. Essentially, if you're fighting a Pinnacle boss, this is going to double the damage of Falling Thunder. I really, really like it for Pinnacle bossing, but it institutes a cooldown on the skill. Now, typically it stores 3 charges, so I can go bonk, 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 but after that, I have to wait 6 seconds to get another charge back. So what I'll do is if I'm mapping, I'll rotate in Ricochet, and now I can spam Falling Thunder to my heart's content. I don't have to wait anymore, I'm good to go. And then whenever I'm doing a Pinnacle boss and I need more damage out of the skill, I just simply swap that in. This is not really necessary for map bosses. I only do it for Pinnacles because it just flat out doubles the damage of Falling Thunder. Then I have Elemental Armament 2 for more elemental attack damage. I was using Rage Forge, but with us not running Whirling Assault now, it was a little bit harder to keep our Rage topped off, so this is just a more consistent damage bump. Maybe there's something better out there. If you have suggestions, leave in the comments. Next is Charge Staff. Charge Staff is how we were buffing up a lot of our damage. We get 1 to 20 lightning damage per charge, and then of course we get the shockwave damage from it, and then all the effects from that shockwave hitting stuff. So we're gonna run Prolonged Duration 2 to increase the duration of the buff, Pulling Strike to allow this to cull things, Blind to allow this to blind things, Blazing Critical for gaining extra damage as fire whenever we critically hit. And then I'm running Ocean's Oath finally because I had lost my Leech line, but now that I have my Leech line back, I can throw back in Ocean's Oath, as this is gonna help sustain our mana. Next up is Flicker Strike, and Flicker Strike is if you optionally want to use it. I really like it. It's visually pleasing when mapping, but you don't have to use it if you don't want to. I'm running Perpetual Charge, as this gives us a chance to not consume charges, but count as consuming them. This mod plus the 10% from the passive tree right here. And then on top of that, plus the Chronomancy mod here for 15%. This means that we just straight up have a 50% chance to not remove charges. That is double the normal amount of flickers that we can do. So more dashes, essentially. I use Hit and Run for more skill speed because Flicker, whenever you're moving slow, can feel quite clunky. So with this skill speed boost, you'll be flying around the map at Mach 50. Same thing, if you're not at 60+% with Blindside, just run Pinpoint Critical. I am above that point, so I can just run Blindside here for more critical damage bonus. Then run Close Combat 2 for more attack damage, and then Concentrated Area for more area damage. If you're not freezing stuff, feel free to run freeze in this last slot. Next up is Mantra, and we use Mantra before hitting a boss with either Falling Thunder or Flicker Strike, or just whenever you're mapping if you want to gain extra damage from the Purple Flames of Chayula. This skill is going to grant a ton of extra damage as Chaos, so just a nice damage boost before you could hit a boss. We'll use Delayed Gratification to force this skill to have a larger amount of combo buildup before we use it. This is just because we can expend more combo for more Energy Shield Recharge Delay Reduction. Prolonged Duration 2 for more skill effect duration. This increases the duration of the Mantra buff and the duration of the Purple Flame buff. Mobility to reduce the movement speed penalty when using the skill. This just allows you to move a little bit faster whenever you click this button. Then Chaos Mastery for a +1. I don't think that there's a 5th slot on Mantra now, since we're not using Aelus here. Then we have Herald of Ice. Herald of Ice, we are, of course, proccing a ton of, thanks to all the cold damage that we have and everything to cause nice big explosions. We're using Magnified Area for an increased AoE on this. Elemental Armament 2 for a little bit more damage. Elemental Focus for more damage. Long Shot for more damage. And then Cold Mastery for a +1 to support a cold level skill. Then I have Wind Dancer. Wind Dancer is granting us 30% more evasion rating whenever it's at max stacks. More evasion rating equals get hit less. I then have Magnified Area. This should be Magnified Area 2. I said this in the last video. I needed to change this out, and I forgot once more. So after I finish this up, I'll try to update this and get this to Magnified Area 2. Blind and Maims. That way, whenever the Gale Force goes off and hits stuff, it will blind and maim them and give you a chance to get away. And then with us running Herald of Ice and having so much cold damage on the skill, it can actually freeze stuff. So I'll run Freeze and Elemental Armament 2, so that way whenever this goes off, it has a chance to freeze the enemies around us and explode them with Herald of Ice. It's quite satisfying. And then lastly, I have Charge Regulation. This grants us more crit whenever you have a Power Charge, more Armor, ES, EV whenever you have an Endurance Charge, and then increased skill speed when you have a Frenzy Charge. I'm running Clarity as I have a leftover 10 Spirit Gem, or Spirit, so that way I'm just getting some Mana Range in here. And the reason why we're using Charge Regulation is because Charge Perfusion is granting us a whole bunch of random extra charges. And I'm also using an anoint that grants Thaumaturgic Dynamism. It is called Thaumaturgic Generator. It is shown right here on the passive tree. You don't normally see it until you anoint it. It's one of the new 20 hidden ones. It's a Melancholy and Isolation, and I think this is a Disgust. Yes, Disgust. And it gives you random charges every 5 seconds. So I'm passively just getting some frenzy charges, some power charges. This is why you see my tooltip being inflated so high, is because I have these charges. If I consume them, you can see it changes the values on my stuff. So this is really nice for keeping you topped off on charges, prior to boss fights, in boss fights, getting into maps, all that sort of thing. So now that I've done talked about the skill gems and support gems, let's talk about the gear. All right, for the gear, we're going to start with the weapon. And I'll preface this by saying right now I'm not using Breath of Aldur, but I recommend for the most part that you always do. I know due to my calculations and me playing so much with the build that I know that I have enough cold damage to freeze stuff. For the most part, until you start to get some insane amount of damage, you need to be running Breath of Aldur to ensure that you're freezing enough stuff. If you're not freezing enough stuff, use Breath of Aldur or get more cold damage on your gear or get more freeze buildup nodes on the tree. After that, on the staff, outside of the ranges of Breath of Aldur, for the stats and stuff that you're going to be looking for, you're either going to want a triple flat damage, elemental damage, so fire, cold, lightning, or you're going to want a double flat increased elemental damage with attacks. All three are very good. All combos are very good. The best combo is triple flat all T1s. That is the pinnacle, the best rolls that we could get. But increased elemental damage with attacks with 2 other flats is not bad. It's not bad at all. It's almost the same, so it's a way cheaper way to go about buying a staff or crafting a staff. So don't sleep on increased LE damage with attacks, but do know that triple flat is better. Outside of that, plus level of melee, critical hit chance, attack speed, and critical damage bonus are going to be your suffix modifiers. Onslaught is also not bad if you can get it, if you don't have the mods on the gloves that I was talking about earlier. So run those. That's what you want to be running. And then for the socketables, use Breath of Aldur and then use Soulcoro Topatante for the elemental pen. Once you get Rakiatas, we'll swap this out. Next up is the body armor. And simply put, this is the unique body armor. This thing is phenomenal for defense. You get deflection rating per 50 missing energy shields. So if you're getting hit in your map, your deflection rating is going up and decreasing the chance that you will not deflect. So this just means you get hit, you take some damage. Guess what? Your deflect chance goes up. It offers a ton of ES and EV. This is as much as my old body armor had before. So this is an amazing unique for defenses. Very cheap, like 20 exalt. Gives you some dex. The companion had max life. And then, of course, damage from deflected hits is taken from your companion before you. So this means the bear is going to eat 15% more of that deflected damage than we already did. Typically, deflect makes you take 40% less damage. This makes you take 55% less damage. So phenomenal defensively. And then, of course, the skill granted by it, this grants you the companion. For my socketables, I have a perfect iron rune. And then if you don't want more defenses, I've thrown in this idol of Airmere. It gives you a 10% chance to not remove charges but count as consuming them. The flicker has that 60% chance to, essentially it has like over double the amount of flickers you can do in a use of the skill. Really, really nice for getting those super long flicker chains if you like it. If you're not using flicker, just put another iron rune in here in this slot. Next up is the gloves, and the gloves are a little intricate. Here are the gloves with no Stone Fist mods, that way you can check it out. And then here are the gloves with the Stone Fist mods. Ideally on these gloves, what you want to be going for, if you're going for the insane clear speed that you see in the video, you're going to want at least one line of explode, and preferably the bleed explode. The bleed explode has a much higher chance, but is a little bit less damage. The chaos explode from poison has a little bit less chance to explode, but a higher damage overall. So both are good. I've actually gotten both. For that very last line on here, I've got gain extra as lightning. I want to replace this with defense. I want a plus or % defense here. I took this because I crafted these on stream, and it was too good to not take T1 lightning. That way, whenever I go to sell these, they'll sell for a lot. They'll sell very easily, but preferably I want one line of defense in my prefix. As for the suffixes, we still want plus level of melee. We still want crits. And then lastly, since we don't need power charge on crit anymore, you can flex that slot for whatever thing you want last. It can be a res, it can be attack speed for onslaught on hits, it can be some other really cool last mod, your choice, dealer's choice on that. And of course, the base for the gloves don't matter either. Stone Fist converts them all to the Fist of Stone base, so it can be an armor mod, it can be an armor base, it can be an EV base, it can be a hybrid base, does not matter what it is. Next is the helmet, and right now I'm using an energy shield helmet. I still want to use an EVES helmet. The only thing was here with me not having a defense mod on my Fist of Stone, I had like 4k energy shield, and with me using Mageblood now, I wanted a higher energy shield amount, so that way I felt a little bit more tanky. So I'm still planning on going EVES. I just need to recraft these gloves to have a defensive mod. So I would still stick with that. On the helmet, as much EVES as you can get. Crit chance, res, attributes, deflection. For the boots, these are the Chronomancy mod boots that I talked about. The Uhtred Citrus, this is how you roll the special charge mod that you see here. On the boots, you're going to want simply as much attack speed as you can afford, as much EVES as you can afford, deflection, res, attribute. And then I also, when I was crafting these, I rolled increased movement speed while sprinting. And of course, I was aiming for this chance to not remove charges to count as consuming them. So these two mods are really nice quality of life, but not necessary. They allow me to sprint around at super fast speeds, and map it's even faster because I have that onslaught buff for 10% increased movement speed on top of that. So these boots allow me to just zoom. Next up is the rings. Same thing as the rings before. You're going to want just added cold, lightning, fizz, fire in that order. As much res, rarity, attributes as you need. Right now I have a really garbage desecrated mod. Don't pay attention to this. It's just some piece of junk that I have right now. And then I have, of course, the leech. This is so I can use Ocean's Oath to leech mana back to myself. Same thing for this ring. Damage, rarity, res, attributes, whatever you need. Amulets, I am using a gold amulet for rarity. I got +3 level of melee, a whole bunch of defenses. If you feel like you're missing out on a lot of evasion rating or energy shield, look at how much of an impact that's having. So it's quite a big impact. I'm getting like a solid like 500 plus energy shield from the amulets. So if you're wondering why, this could be it. Otherwise, res, attributes, rarity, whatever you need. And then I'm anointing Thaumaturgic Generator, as this is granting me random charges over time. If you don't want to anoint this, you can go for a more budget-oriented one like Critical Exploits, Serrated Edges, Vulgar Methods, any like crit-oriented one that you want, or maybe a defensive one like Bestial Skin, Subterfuge Mask, Patient Barrier, Dealer's Choice. Then I have my Mageblood. I did get this from a ritual altar. I can't really control that I got this. I was trying to farm this and I got it. It is very expensive, of course, but it is not necessary for the build. It just makes the build feel really, really comfortable and fast. I've gone for Legacy of Quicksilver for movement speed, Legacy of Diamond for crit chance, Legacy of Jade for evasion, as look at my evasion rating with and without this belt. It grants so much evasion rating. And then lastly, I have Topaz right now. I would like to replace this with Silver for skill speed, but I'll have to work my res to fit that in. That's just a matter of time in Divine. So that is my Mageblood right now. Then for my charms, I have a Stun Charm, an Ignite Charm, and a Freeze Charm. I do plan on getting a Rite of Passage here soon with something like, I don't know, cat, fox, maybe wolf, owl, whole bunch of different ones out there. Really good Rite of the Passage, but that's what I'm going to be going for next. And then for the flask, if you're still using Chevron Satchel, make sure that you still have a really, really good instant recovery flask. My life flask is literally meaningless as I have Mageblood on now. This does nothing for me. And then I have my Mono Flask, which is giving me instant recovery, instant charges. Just pick a good Mono Flask, doesn't really matter all that much. And then lastly, for my tattoos, I have a res tattoo because I need the res cap right now. You could replace this with a 2% XP rune in the helmet. I have a rune of warding for reduced effect of curses. This is getting me curse immune with the combination of the Hollow Keeper node. Then I have another res rune. You could replace this with the energy shield recharge rate rune if you don't need the res, but I need the res right now. I have a rune of culmination for building additional combo. This just means whenever I'm building combo, I can build additional combo for more power charges. And then lastly, I have increased movement speed for moving faster, simply put. So yeah, that is the gear and everything. So now let's jump into talking about the passive and the Ascendancy Tree. All right, here we are on the passive and Ascendancy Tree. So let's talk about the Ascendancy first. It's the exact same as last time. We have the Way of the Stone Fist to transform our gloves. We have our Martial Adept for extra combo gain and the ES recharge delay. And then we have Martial Master for the gain combo from all attack hits. This is what is enabling the Shattering Palm tech. So have this, please have this. And then lastly, Runic Meridians. Of course, this is granting us those tattoos, really nice quality of life. For some reason, if you don't want the tattoos, I would probably recommend going with Mountain, but I think the tattoos are really, really nice to have. All right, for the tree here, don't be fooled. My tree has changed because I have the crit from Mageblood Diamond Flask. So I don't need the crit nodes from Blind anymore because I have that made up on the belts. That saved me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. I was able to take those points and distribute them into some EV deflect. I still need one more level to pick up the Soul Meridian right here. Otherwise, everything is almost the exact same. I still have my CI, I still have my stun threshold, my cold nodes right here. I still have all my crit stuff that I've been taking. You probably shouldn't take Throat Seeker until you have the Mageblood as well, or just have some stupid high crit chance. This does give you a lot more crit bonus, but does reduce your crit chance. So just keep that in mind. I've now taken one with the river with my extra points as well, as this is granting me more freeze buildup and more days on hits, and then more defenses while wielding a quarterstaff. So this is a defensive boost, a freeze boost, a days boost, all that sort of stuff. It's really nice. Still keeping the same notes here: Pen, Hollow Keeper, EVES. The combo stuff for Chonker of Impact, because this consumes combo, this builds combo. Daze nodes for increased damage and crit chance against Daze enemies. Fabled Stag for removing charges, but not consuming them. Enhanced Reflexes for deflection and EV. And then all the crit nodes here that you see. So yeah, so now let's talk about our jewels. For the jewels, right now I have a Heart of the Well with a gain extra fire, gain extra lightning, crit chance, mana on kill. I do recommend, my preference would be gain cold, gain lightning, or gain cold, gain chaos. I do like to have 2% mana on kill. This helps you sustain your mana when mapping a lot. If you feel like you're having a mana problem, take the Heart of the Well diamond with 2% mana on kill, or a rare jewel with 2% mana on kill. There's also the nodes on the tree right here that you could anoint for 2% on kill, right here and right here. Then I have a just regular Sapphire up here with crit bonus ES. I'm going to be changing this for a Megalomaniac here soon, or maybe like a Voices if I can somehow get my hands on one. And then down here, I have my Time Loss Jewel. I'll probably be making a video on crafting jewels as well, as you can make some crazy 5-mod jewels. I've not yet done that. But essentially, on the Time Loss, you're going to want something along the lines of increased critical hit chance, increased critical damage bonus, energy shield, global defenses, and then if you can get it, I have this upgrade radius to large. This makes me capture an extra node here. And of course, for every notable that I have, I'm getting increased critical damage bonus. So this right here is making this node give crit bonus, this node give crit bonus, this node give crit bonus. So really, really powerful jewel. This is one of the biggest increases of offense and defense on the entire setup here. So I would definitely recommend trying to craft a really, really nice Time Loss jewel. I'll be making a video on it sometime after the glove and boot video. And that is all my jewels and stuff like that. So now let's hop into a map and bossing demo. All right, here's my map right here. Pretty nasty one for most people. Here's my tablets. And I'm using a city map because this allows me to have 4 tablets with the Atlas tree. Let's jump into it. All right, here's my map, and then there's my mods. Now let's jump into it. Starting off with the setup, you want to Shattering Palm a couple times into back enemies. By Shattering Palm, you're going to see that I gain power charges. I can then press my charge staff and then do it again. Then I'll have more power charges. This means I can now start flickering. I can then press my Shattering Palm again, get more charges, and then bonk. And then vice versa. So you just run through the map essentially, find a pack of monsters to hit with Shattering Palm like so, and then proceed to bonk or flicker to your heart's content. Whatever you feel like doing. Not too much really else behind it. Press Shattering Palm when you need, maintain your Charge Staff buff, and Flicker when it calls to you. So just same thing, just run through, Flicker, Shattering Palm. Here's a Breach, perfect. So Shattering Palm, Falling Thunder, Shattering Palm, Falling Thunder. I'm going to throw on Ricochet for mapping purposes. Shattering Palm, Falling Thunder, Shattering Palm, Falling Thunder. All the way, I can just sit here and spam this all day. My 2% mana on kill is going to keep my mana topped off. I'm feeling like it. Pop a little Flicker. Take ourselves back over here. Tons of clear, tons of Herald of Ice Shatters, tons of fun. Same thing, just Flicker them, Falling Thunder them, whatever you may need to do. Do this one as well. And yeah, just mix the two skills together. Whatever you want to do. If you don't want to Flicker, you don't have to. If you don't want to use Falling Thunder, you don't have to. Just pick one and then stick with it. I do think that Falling Thunder is probably the best overall for bossing and mapping, but I enjoy Flicker so much, I can't not play with it, so I'm going to have it on regardless. So yeah, I'm going to real quick run through this map since I used my tablets, and I'm going to finish it up real quick, and then I'll go to the boss, and I'll show you a boss demo. All right, here we got the boss. Simply put, if you don't have charges, I'm just going to go to Eat Mines. That would just show you what it looks like whenever you don't have charges. You're going to let the boss fight start up, and you're going to hit the target with your Shattering Palm a couple times. You just click the skill. My Thorn Search Generator is giving me some charges passively, so just watch. I'm going to smack him a couple times with Shattering Palm. You can see I get charges. I'll then press my mantra and bonk him or Flicker him. If you need more damage, if you're not one bonking the boss, Breach Lord's Amalgam is a great alternative. I'm at the point that if it's a map boss, I don't need to worry about not killing him. I can just bonk him normally. But if you need more damage, this is always here for it. And if you're doing pinnacle bosses, this is always here for it. So really, really nice. Very simple, very easy. If you need charges, press Shattering Palm, consume them, and then bonk. So yeah. And yeah, that is all that I have for the Monk update. Absolutely insane update. Whole bunch of new tech, whole bunch of big upgrades. Build is feeling absolutely insane right now. This is one of the craziest monks I've ever played. I'm having so much fun. So yeah, hope you guys have been enjoying it. I've been updating the Mobalytics. Keep up to date on that. I've been keeping the POB updated on stream and stuff like that and on YouTube. So if you need that, go pull that from there. And yeah, let me know what you think. If you have any other tech or tips, please drop them down in the comment section. And yeah, that's it for the video. And I hope to see you on the next one. Y'all take care.